miraculous happened, and my parents' friends from church met up with them, and she had a dream, and said Dave's gonna wake. Sure enough, the next day I woke. That's an amazing story for me to hear, and also for me to experience that. I woke up, and again, I don't remember waking up, but it was pretty miraculous for my parents and the people see that, and the doctors, and just how fast things progressed was they don't know how that happened. It just happened. And so God is real. I've seen things I cannot explain. When I was in the worst time of my life that I don't remember being the worst, it's just I was in situations where I seen miraculous things. So it's hard for me to explain.
Really, by all accounts, you shouldn't be here.
No.
And like, here you are, so...
No, I had half my skull removed. I had brain surgery.
Serious?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
The whole skull was removed. Then I had brain surgery. That's where my speech and my paralysis, I was paralyzed this right side. So I had to learn how to walk, talk, and everything over again.
Hello, everybody.
Hey, look at that. There you go.
Yeah, welcome back to the Quiet Riot Show. I'm excited to be here today. I've been feeling great lately, and I was really looking forward to this episode too. Our today's guest is actually a friend of my friend that I've heard lots about him.
Yeah.
And I find it's a very interesting story, and I think it needs to be shared because, there's people out there that are going through very similar shit, I believe. So I was really looking forward to having our guest on today and talk about this.
Well, and then
and just
when I found out who it
and
was,
the funny thing is, like, you actually know this guy, so welcome to Winnipeg. Everybody knows everybody through somebody, and it's a small. When I moved to Winnipeg, I was told that Winnipeg is like a giant village.
Yeah, it is
because everybody knows each other, right? So I'll let you introduce our guest,
sure,
and then go from there.
So I have known this gentleman. As we grew up together.
He told me.
I think we've known each other since we were babies.
Pretty much, yes.
Yeah. And
I'm sorry.
I've always been a piece of shit. He was a pretty nice guy. No, we grew up together. I wouldn't say we've ever been close or tight or anything, but we've known each other, and our families have known each other for our whole lives.
Basically,
when I heard Tommy texted me, and he's like, apparently you know our guest that's coming on, and I'm like, oh yeah, it's Winnipeg, like I probably do. Like, I don't know, who is the guy? And he sent me your name, and I was just like, oh fuck, like no shit. So our guest, David Jacobson, welcome. Thank you for being here. Yeah, we have a long family history behind you and I, but we don't necessarily know each other very well. So I'm aware of a very little sliver of what you're going to talk about today, a tiny little sliver of it, and so that alone is I don't think fascinating is the right word, but I think amazing is definitely part of it, and sad and tragic. It's going to be a lot of things.
Yes.
But we're just going to talk about it, and welcome here. I'm glad you're here.
Thank you. Welcome.
Thanks,
and so before we get into our check-in and then talk about what we are here to talk about, I want to talk about this hockey card that I received, and I'm going to share it there. So you were basically a pro hockey player.
Once upon a time, yes.
Yeah. And I mean, was that kind of like a dream for you, or it just kind of happened?
Yeah, at the time, yeah.
Because I mean, everybody plays hockey in Canada, almost everybody.
I never did.
Well, you're special.
That's a nice way of putting it.
Yeah, I've always loved the game hockey. The sport is great. The aspirations to be a hockey player are always there for most guys who play hockey. Mm-hmm. The hardest thing for me was leaving Winnipeg when I actually got drafted. A young guy at the time and very family oriented. So, It's a bit different, but I experienced a lot of stuff. You know, first year we won a league championship at the Memorial Cup, and it was pretty neat. So
nice.
Played with a lot of pros, ex-pros, NHL pros, and I would love to carry the career on, but I just quit. Just didn't like it no more.
so is that what it was, that you just had enough and wanted to move on from that life?
Yeah, as a lot of people know, I played for a few teams, right?
Yeah.
So the last team I played is Calgary Hitmen.
Okay.
I quit. You know, I got called back up for Calgary after Christmas, and I just said I'm not coming back. You know, so I had a long talk with Kelly Kissio, and that was a interesting speech or talk with the fellow, but just came down to the idea that hockey was not my thing. So
just heart wasn't in it.
Yeah, it wasn't it. Like, you gotta love the game. I didn't love it.
Yep.
Is there a certain portion of that where it's just like you've worked so hard to get to that point that it, like, maybe, I don't know how long you didn't want to do it anymore, but like, is it kind of like, well, I fucking worked this hard, I should probably, like, I'll do another season. Like, is that...
It's funny you said that. Yeah, the first year I played with Kelowna, it wasn't released. I wasn't protected, right? So the new team, Everett Washington, Everett Silvertips was entering the league, and I was picked up by them. So I wasn't protected. That, I think, took me to the side and kind of like, okay, my drive for hockey kind of turned. Mm-hmm. A great experience, you know, but just kind of, it fell down a bit.
Yeah.
And from there on, you know, I traded from here to there, like Regina, then Vancouver, then I went home. I'm not going to go anywhere else, and I got a call from Calgary, and I give it a go, and then that was it. I just decided that's enough.
Just wasn't for you
anymore. No, it's too bad. You know, there's a lot of guys I know played pro, and a lot of guys who could have been great quit.
Yeah.
So,
well, you know what? It's a stage in your life.
Yes.
You can say that you've done that, and you've realized early on that this is not for me. And,
no, exactly.
And that's it's got to be a tough thing to do, make that decision to walk away. But you know, I said it many times on this show that you close one door, another one opens, right? So,
Well, it's the thing. Like you gotta, like, when you're, I don't know, hockey's an interesting thing. Any sport is, you know, you get involved in sport and it becomes a family, right?
Yeah.
It's then as a player you learn how to move that the idea to something else.
Yeah.
Like you say, doors open and close, right?
Yeah.
So my idea is, okay, well, I don't play hockey. I'm going to do something else, right? So my door opened in a different field. So I went to school.
Okay.
Right?
Cool.
So I went to school, and it didn't work out for policing. So
I
decided, well, I'm going to go into the trades, carpentry. And then carpentry, I didn't want to do it. Yeah. Did electrical. So that's what I did.
Yeah. No, I have a friend, too, that he was basically the next up-and-coming goalie, and he just one day, he had a little bit of hip problems, and he's like, you know what, if I continue doing this, I might end up in a worse situation. So we went to Harvard. Now he's a brain surgeon, you know, so it's like, but like, you know, it's just,
that's crazy.
Sometimes you just, like you work, because like, I think any hockey player, pro hockey player, as a child, like you're playing hockey since you can walk.
Yeah, it's
right.
Time.
Yeah. And then so that you're looking at a 20-year investment, you know, for you, for your parents, right, or aunts or uncles, whatever people that come watch you, right. And so it's a big decision to be made early on. But hey, life is short, and like that's only 20 years. You still have another 80 to go.
So just for context, how old are you now, and how old were you when you left hockey behind?
Well, I'm be 40 this year.
Congratulations. 40's fucking awesome.
Me too.
I'm telling both of you, 40's awesome.
Oh, I can't wait.
I know. I can't wait either.
I'm living it up.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sad and I got a lot of shit behind me, but like, other than that doesn't go away.
Well, for me, it's just a year, and I don't know. We'll
just
see.
Another year.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I feel like I'm actually at 40 going on 70.
Yeah. Well, I think we're going to unpack that a little bit.
Yeah, exactly.
How old were you when you stopped hockey?
I stopped playing when I was 20.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
20 is the last year. And
okay. Cool.
I'm going to stage up, and that was it.
Awesome.
check-in. So number system 1 to 10.
Okay.
How you're doing. So it could be, it's a bit of a combination of like how you're doing physically, how you're doing mentally. It's just sum up in one number. Me and my wife use this because I'm not the most talkative person at home comparatively to the other 2 people who live in my house, and they never can get a read on me. So we use numbers, and it makes it super simple.
That's pretty good.
So like, is Tim having a really awful day or a really good day? She might not notice.
No.
Yeah. And so we use numbers.
He looks like he's really pissed off, but he's an 8.
I might look angry, but I might be having the best day of my fucking life. So
that's smart. I should actually do that more.
It works unbelievably well. And since me and my wife started doing it, we've had a lot of people do it, and we brought it into the show to like get a gauge on each other before we start, and just like use that as a tool to just like very quickly check in with somebody. So
that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
You can use any timeline you want. Today I'm going to say a 5.
Okay.
It's been pretty crazy.
Yeah,
I've been very busy. Volleyball season is in full fucking go.
Fucking kids.
Not me. No. Do I look like a fucking volleyball player? No. A little short for a volleyball player. No, my daughter plays volleyball. She plays club volleyball. She plays school volleyball when that's going on. She really likes it. She's great at it. It's amazing. But like, as you know better than anyone else in this room, like when your child or yourself are in like a sporting event or a sporting activity that's like heavily competitive, it's a lot of time.
It's a lot of time.
She has like 4 practices a week right now and tournaments every weekend. So it's just like every fucking day is volleyball.
I know.
And so however hard that is on me as her dad, I know how hard it is. Like it's got to be hard on her.
And for sure.
She really enjoys it. She loves it, and she like gives it everything she's got. But like, it makes life pretty crazy. So like, me and my wife have our own businesses. Okay. And so like, we live that life in addition to the chaos of volleyball and a daughter.
Very busy.
Yeah.
Very
so
busy.
we're like an extremely busy household. So
just juggling timelines.
Just juggling your timelines. I was telling Tommy before we started today before you got here that like, I feel like I wish I could get 10 minutes to do something I wanted to do. And like, just right now is not the time. Like it's okay. Nope. And everything's great. But it's just like, for 10 minutes I'd love to like do whatever the fuck I felt like doing. And that's just not in the cards right now.
Why do you think I go to the washroom so much?
I don't do that at home. So
I know, well, it's about time you start.
Maybe I should start, or at least pretend.
You want to play solitaire a little bit? Just go poop.
So I would say I'm a 5 today. I'm an optimistic 5.
Okay.
My daughter's got a tournament coming up this weekend. We're going to Brandon tomorrow.
Oh, nice.
I'm actually looking forward to it. We got a great group of parents, like you said earlier. Like it's community. There is like family, and you build this family with the parents you're with, and it's great. So I'm an optimistic 5. Tommy,
today I am an 8.
Cool.
Yeah, and I
through the fucking roof.
I've been so. Dave, just a little backstory for you. I'm on stress leave right now from work, and I put my business on halt a little bit because just shit hit the fan, basically, you know. And so I needed to take some time. So for a long, like probably 3 weeks ish, 3-4 weeks, I was hovering at like a 3-4. Really, I was overweight, not sleeping well, back's hurting, couldn't get up to go to work. If I did, like a couple times I almost crashed, you know, just because I was falling asleep. So everything just piled up. So I had to take some time. And so I did like a Tony Robbins summit, the 3-day one, and that was it talked about lots of like the business stuff, but also a lot of personal things. And that kind of I really took from that weekend is that it's really important to focus on yourself.
That guy will light a fire under your ass, man.
It did,
he's made a whole living doing that, and he's not wrong.
Yeah, and
he's pretty good.
He's pretty good.
So and this is like not paid by Tony Robbins or anything, but like if it gets out there, I'll tag him anyways. But like, thank you, because like it really, I watched lots of his videos, but going through that summit, like it's there's a lot of things I still don't do that he said to do daily, but I'll get there maybe one day. But like, it helped me realize that I really need to focus on my well-being right now, which is my mental and my physical health. So I got on this keto metabolic reset. So I've lost since February 1st.
Yeah, how many pounds?
22 pounds.
Oh, wow.
And
almost a pound a day, buddy.
Yeah.
And it's unbelievable, and I feel great. Like, my back's not hurting as much. I'm going to physio. I'm seeing a therapist. I had a therapy session today, so I want to quickly talk about that a little bit. I cannot stress enough how important it is to go see a therapist. Like, it might feel awkward at first time for you to talk about what you're going through. But I felt instantly comfortable because I just started talking, and like, my therapist kind of started digging. He's like, hold on, this is what I'm hearing. What's going on? Why are you feeling? Why did this happen? Why did that happen? Why did you do this? And like, it came back to, I moved away from my hometown, from my own home country, at 18 years of age.
Oh, wow.
Without my parents or anybody. So he's like, well, you lost a big part of your life,
Yeah.
Then I moved here. I had to rebuild my friends and family and everything. Then I got a job and kind of had a kid. Life went on. I had a band, and then I had to give up my band,
Yeah.
and because life just got busy. So he's like, well, you lost another thing.
Yeah.
At my job right now, I lost an election on the union part, which I really cared about that job because it's about helping people, and I really enjoyed helping people when they needed help, and so I lost that. So there's another thing. And then, my best friend, who was my best man at my wedding, kind of quit on us. He moved out, he went through something, moved in with us, moved out, and haven't talked to us. And like, shit, like, what the hell happened? So so it came down to that. Like, I basically don't know how to deal with grief.
Yeah.
With like loss in my life. And so now he gave me some homework, and it was a really good session today. I've left very positive from there, that I kind of like, okay, I don't know how to figure shit out, but I know what the next step is.
Oh, yeah.
And I really like that. Like, it felt so. I had such a busy day, but it was so good because I'm like, okay, I came home and I'm like, okay, I need to go with my daughter here. I got this, I got that. Okay, no problem. I'm getting it done, and I'm moving forward. Last night I went out with friends. We were sitting by the fire. Had some drinks. Yeah, it was fun. It was fun, and it was just nice being out in the air, being with friends, listening to music, and just really taking care of myself. So the last 2 days have been really good, and I'm ready to hit the next step. So yeah,
that's awesome. I'm
so
happy
about
to
an
hear
8.
that. Yeah.
Sorry, I got a little long chicken.
No, that's good. That's good because I see therapists as well.
Yeah.
I went through a bad injury, and I have to. Like, you got to get your words out and how you feel and how you process things, and it's good to talk to someone because
100%.
It's hard to talk to someone because they may not get it, or if they do get it, they don't really help you.
Well, there's bias, and they have their own interests,
exactly.
And I don't blame anybody. I think we've talked about that before. Like, I don't blame anyone for having bias or interest. They love me. Like, therapist doesn't love you. They don't care.
They don't care,
and that's the beauty of it.
Yeah, they're third person, third party, and they just want to hear you. That's it.
They're just there to use whatever information they have, and education they have to like guide you down a path.
Your footsteps to go wherever.
So check in. Where are you at?
What's a low 1 to 5, 10?
Yeah, 1 to 10.
1's a nightmare, and 10's the best thing that's ever happened.
It's interesting because I don't know where I stand. We'll say 5.
Okay.
We'll go in between because I'm there probably every day.
Yep.
Okay.
My life.
Yeah.
I'm a busy man. All the kids I have, and my wife, we have 5 kids together. I had 3 with her, 1 with her, and 2 with my ex, and she's had 2 with her ex.
That's a lot of kids.
Yeah, so we're pretty busy.
I got 1, and I'm complaining. Like, I'm sorry.
It's a lot of work. So my boy's playing competitive hockey.
Okay.
Right. So he's got 2 games this weekend, and this is a week we don't have the kids. We got our son. He's 2 years and next week. So
okay.
But I always see his games as playoffs, right? So it's a little she needs wife and husband time, and
yeah, for sure.
So we're to go do something with just me and her, and
nice. That's awesome.
So it's tough on me, right? Because you wanna be there for your kids, and
100%,
and then you want to be there for a wife. But you know, it's you pick and choose, right? So this weekend I'm gonna choose. I'll go with my wife, and I'll have five games left to watch my son. Yes,
yeah,
exactly. It's important. Like I know when I went through, we almost got a divorce with my wife, and because we literally just became roommates because all we did is focus on children, and we forgot about each other, and we were just like people that lived in this house taking care of the kids.
Well, and roommates is the worst. Like if you're roommates with your partner, like you got to make some change.
Absolutely.
Like, that's not good.
Yeah, so it's important. Good for you that you're doing
that's
this.
That's awesome. Good for you.
It's that's the thing. Like having a split family is very difficult. You know, so we work together. She's doing more working than I am. You know, she's a better organizer and etc. Right? But
naturally, women are.
Yeah. Thank the Lord. I tell you about.
I know. Yeah. We talked about it too.
So it's just it's tough. You know, you have a split family and your differentiation of how you parent. Different parenting rules, and we have a son that we parent together. Now she gets to see what it's like when I parent kids, and I see how she parents kids.
That's right.
We're working together great there, but we have our other kids that are kind of, they can bring a little bit of turmoil in a sense to us.
Adds complication for sure.
It's complicated for sure.
Yeah.
So that's why I put myself at a 5.
Yeah.
I'll be nice.
Yeah, that's fair.
Be conservative.
Yeah.
5's okay.
Yeah.
Well, we're gonna talk to you about a number of things, and I don't know, trauma's never exciting, but I'm looking forward to hearing your story, both because you're someone whose name has been in my mind since I've been a child, and I remember sort of briefly hearing about some of the traumas you've been through, and I'm very curious to hear more. And like also you're still sitting here and still talking to us, and so like that's a fucking miracle if anything, and so I'm curious to hear about that too. So we're gonna take a quick break, and then we'll get into it.
Sounds good.
People appreciate the fact that you're genuine and authentic. Just be yourself. Like I complimented Justin Lamuda from Rainy Day Forge. He put his YouTube video out, and I've seen every other video he's done, but this one was different. And I reached out to him, and then when he answered, he said that he was just being himself.
Guys, listen up. You know what makes life better? Great knives. But not just any knives, custom knives. Need a knife that'll handle your outdoor adventures? Or a kitchen knife sharp enough to make you feel like a pro? Check out Rainy Day Forge. Crafted right here in Winnipeg. Get yours today at rainydayforge.ca.
It's captivating. Why? Because he's being himself. There we go.
This show is brought to you by our new sponsor, Stoke Screen Printing. Are you looking to make a statement with custom clothing? Stoke Screen Printing is Winnipeg's go-to print shop, and they will bring your vision to life. Whether you need bold screen printing or crisp digital prints, or high-quality embroidery, or even eye-catching stickers, they've got you covered. Their friendly, knowledgeable staff will walk you through the process and ensure top-tier results with great turnaround times. Now, whether you're looking for a single t-shirt or thousands of pieces for your band, business, or event, or even podcast, they will handle it all at fantastic prices. And then here's an added bonus. If you're a local Winnipeg band, you will get another 10% off from your order. If you're looking for quality, speed, and great service, contact Stoke Screen Printing today and stay stoked.
From their humble roots in kitchens and music venues all over Winnipeg, the creators of Intergalactic Sauces have turned their passion project into a line of must-have condiments for flavor and heat lovers everywhere. Getting their start selling tacos to hungry concert goers at local underground music festivals, the Intergalactic crew has stayed true to its DIY rock and roll aesthetic. Every delicious bottle is a carefully designed collaboration with indie designers, printers, and a bit of inspiration from the cosmos. Whether it's a limited run or one of Intergalactic's core flavors, whether you want to add a bit of zip to a meal or blow your head off with heat, there's a sauce for everyone. Go to intergalacticsauces.com and get your sauce today.
I want to start by highlighting like the little I know about what you've been through and the people in your life have been through with you along your side. It's fucking miraculous that you're sitting here talking with us. I think a miracle is probably the best word to use.
Yeah.
Well, I say that, but
we don't know what that is.
Well, the way Jono described it to me was, like I was just like, holy crap! Like, it's great that this guy's still with us.
And I think I think we're gonna get some perspective from you, like the first hand that did all this. Like, I guess the opening question is just, what happened and when did things change?
Okay. Well, the day I heard July 15th, that's going back to 2012.
Okay.
2013, sorry. Yeah, basically off a ladder, I was working a hypovalve, and I zapped and fell off 8 feet on my head.
So you got zapped?
Yeah, high voltage. It's low voltage portrayed, but it's hypovalve, so it holds more voltage.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, it zapped and knocked out. Basically, fell 8 feet on my head. So, I don't remember that. I just remember actually waking up in Riverview. I was on a coma in HSC. I was there for a month.
Okay.
I was in a coma for, I think, 10 days. And then I was there in rehabilitation. And then they moved me over to Riverview, where that's where I got, they rehabilitate you, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Walking, talking.
Yeah.
So that's when I remember the first thing was when I was there. Actually, just interesting. I remember my mom rubbing my feet and saying, "I'm your mother." And I couldn't talk. And I said, I looked at her and yes,
Just nodded.
Yeah. And kind of freaked her out. And that's the first thing I remember my mom.
Yeah.
Okay. I remember people there, but I just remember my mom saying something to my mom.
Yeah.
That was it. And then after that, just worked its way into,
I think we'd all remember our moms first.
Yeah. It was just...
They gave birth to us. I feel like there's like a connection there.
This is
like,
similar.
Exactly. Exactly. So, it was a pretty interesting situation there with, when it comes down to getting hurt Riverview, I had to learn how to do a lot of things, walk, talk, and
so what did you? So you obviously suffered severe head injuries, head trauma, whatever. I guess that's the whole thing with it, and it's just clicking with me now. But the people who that happens to don't have the same experience as the people on the outside of it who sit there and watch this happen.
Yeah,
You were in a coma for 10 days.
Yeah.
Well, you don't remember that.
No.
But everyone around you, your mom and your family and they all remember going through that period.
Day by day, the doctors say that every day we got to look at his eyes, see if he's going to wake. Because I wasn't induced. So I was in a coma.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the outlook was very low every day. So if I was in a coma one day, the next day, every day got worse. So their idea after 7 days was I was going to be a vegetable. From what I've heard.
Oh, really? Is that
they said
kind of how they gauge it?
He'll forget everything, and then eventually I'll be sucking from a tube, basically.
Okay.
So with 10 days, miraculous happened, and my parents' friends from church met up with them, and it's an interesting story. She had a dream, and said Dave's gonna wake. Come from a religious family, and sure enough, the next day I woke, and that's an amazing story. For me to hear, also for me to experience that. Yeah, it was pretty neat. So I woke up, and again, I don't remember waking up, but it was pretty miraculous for my parents and the people see that. And the doctors, and just how fast things progressed was they don't know how that happened.
It
just happened, and so God is real. So I take it down to the penny. I've seen things I cannot explain.
Yeah.
When I was in the worst time of my life, that I don't remember being the worst. It's just I was in situations where I seen miraculous things.
Yeah.
So it's hard for me to explain.
By all accounts, you should be dead.
Yeah.
Like, I guess that's the easiest way to put it.
Yeah.
Hope that's not insulting or anything
No, it's
to
not
you, but
insulting,
like, really, by all accounts, you shouldn't be here.
No.
And like, here you are. So you wake up from the coma. Obviously, you'll have most of your memories are probably actually around people telling you what was happening, because I would guess you don't remember clearly a lot of that.
No, I had half my skull removed. I had brain surgery.
Serious?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
The whole skull was removed. Then I had brain surgery. It took a quarter size of my brain out. So that's where my speech and my paralysis, I was paralyzed as right side.
Okay.
So I had to learn how to walk, talk, and everything over again. I went from 235 to 160.
Ooh.
I haven't weighed that weight since I was 14 years old.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So it was pretty crazy. But it was traumatic.
Yeah.
What was that like for you as you were healing, and as like you're obviously feeling a lot of things during that time?
Yeah, everyone experiences different. And
for sure.
I've always been strong with God.
Yep.
And my comfort was miraculous. I felt at peace in Riverview.
Okay.
It was so miraculous. I volunteered there for years after, and a lot of people struggle there. I have friends who struggled there. They didn't like it. For me, I just love it there. So I learned how to do everything over again, like everyone else had to do. Right? You go through therapy, your physio, your speech. You have to do all this stuff over again.
And do you live there?
Yeah, we just live there, and they feed you. And like, I was bathed. I couldn't walk, and so I was bathed by females and males, and it was just. But I felt comforted. I had to wear a diaper. Like, it was just different. I was like a child again.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Being reborn.
Well, you're starting over, right?
Being reborn. And
that's a great way to put it. Like,
yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Like,
so it was, for me, it was like being reborn. Like I said, it was just a whole different feeling for me.
Well, and there's no shame in it. Like,
No,
it's
not
just
at all.
like, again, like it's if anything, it's a miracle. Again, like, it happened that. I guess you kind of got a second chance, right?
Oh, yeah.
And I think a lot of people realize that when they go through something like this, that, I try to tell that to myself, that like, well, like you actually kind of told me this when we had a private conversation, when I found out some issues with me that I have, like, high blood sugar level. These are the things I can fix. It's not like I have cancer or something like that where I have really no control over, right? So I tell myself that it could be always worse, right? But a lot of people just kind of don't really think that way, right? And then, so you kind of got this second chance to, and you went through that experience of relearning everything. Like, what was it like? What I'm really curious about, like you did say that you were at peace, but like your mind was, I guess, still there because you wanted to say something, but you just couldn't, right?
Yes.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, it took a while for me to be able to speak. I wanted to talk, but when I spoke, my mouth was so fused. I was paralyzed, right? But I would talk in, it's hard to say, like, it made no sense.
Yeah.
And my wording was off. I'd scramble words.
Yeah.
It's like an example. I had to associate animals. What's this animal and with that animal? Like, I couldn't pick one. I'd choose one. That's a cow. No, it's not a cow. It's a donkey.
Yeah.
Like, I'd say something like that. That looks like a cow.
Yeah.
So I couldn't put two and two together.
Yeah.
That's one thing out of many things. But going back to talking, it just was. It was difficult.
Yeah.
But it never bothered me.
Okay. Yeah. That's great.
Well, and do you think, as a man of faith, that like you found peace in that, knowing that like I used to live a life of Christian faith. I don't anymore, but like I used to, and I understand it. And like, tell me if I'm speaking out of turn, but like you would feel like, well, if I'm still here, then like God put me here. And he woke me up from my coma. Yeah. And so, like, there's a reason I'm supposed to do all these things, and I'm supposed to feel like this. Like you said, a rebirth. Like, how much of your faith was kind of okay, well, I have to do this. Like, I'm here for a reason.
Well, at first,
and everyone's faith experience is different, so I don't want to speak out of turn, but
it's a good thing. Like, we all have reasons to be here. Mm-hmm. Like, everyone has reason to be here. It doesn't matter what the scenario is. And my reason is not figured out. And now I'm a father. I don't work no more because of my injury. And
I think you got 5 reasons.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So the purpose of life is what you make of it, I think. And at the time, like, I've always been a spiritual man, believe in God. I'm not crazy religious, as you say. I don't go to church.
God can also be a lot of things to a lot of people.
God's all faith and belief. You got to believe in that, and that's all it is to me. And that's where I started with, just focusing not just on God, but on me and how I'm going to get better. Mm-hmm. The Lord gave me a second chance, but how am I gonna? Because God cannot do that for me.
Yeah, how are you gonna use
God's this time to guide you, but He's not gonna do that for you. You got to do that shit yourself. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I just did it myself, and take things back from our grassroots of being a hockey player, right? And my dad coaching me in hockey and telling me, Dave, do the extra lap, skate the extra lap.
Yeah.
And I did that every day through therapy. I worked hard. I'd take one step, the next step, and then I walked down a hallway. Next day I walk way down. There's 2 hallways down. So that's how it was when I first started walking again. Like, I'm going to do that extra lap. Mm-hmm. So with everything I did, speaking,
you went the extra lap,
all with eating and everything.
I guess eating too. Like, I guess all of it. I just it's so hard to.
Yeah, to trachea.
To think of all the things that would have been a part of all of that. And like eating's, if you can't speak, you probably have trouble eating. Like,
it's feeding tube here, and they pulled it out. Like, there's a lot of things that I don't know, people don't realize, but it's
we take it for granted.
Life's taken for granted, and life is too short. Way too short.
Yeah.
Okay, so you come. How long? Just so for our listeners and for ourselves, like, how long was that from accident let's not talk about that. From waking up to going home and like starting to have some independence?
Okay, well, we about 3 months. Or around 3 months, actually.
Okay.
Almost
I thought it was way longer.
Almost 4 months. Well, you know what?
That's pretty incredible.
It's funny to say that, because at the time when I was in review, I felt like I was there for years.
Yeah.
But it's almost 4 months. I was hurt and then went back home when I was independent. Somewhat.
That is actually pretty incredible.
Yeah.
Like that extra lap. That extra lap really helped.
Well, they're talking about putting me in another place, right? Because there's soccer also after I was done a review, so I'd be housed in another place.
Okay.
And that would be, more long term. But, like you said, to give the extra lap, I did. And it worked out where I can go home after. And
so was like your drive and determination, which clearly you have an endless amount of. I mean, you played essentially pro hockey till you decided to stop.
Yeah.
And like, you've learned what drive and determination means. You talk about the extra lap and all these things. Like, that's such a part of that. And so I would imagine someone in that mindset, when they're like, you can go to this place for long term, or like, home's an option if we get this close enough. It's like, I'm fucking going home. Like, was that important to you at that point, or was it just where your therapy was at that it just made sense?
Well, the thing is, I had to get therapy after anyway. Mm-hmm. So I go home and get therapy, the physio and the speech, out of all that stuff for 2 years plus.
Yeah, okay.
After, but being able to go home, like, that was the biggest thing for me. You're right in that 100%. That I didn't want to go somewhere else.
Yeah,
I want to go to my house, and that's where I want to go.
Yeah, you're comfortable at home, right? Like, it's. Anybody, like, even just if you're sick with a cold, you want to be sick at home.
Yeah,
right.
Exactly.
That's your comfort. Your ass is already on that couch. It's all worked out, right? So like, you want to be comfortable at home and do the work at home.
Well, for sure. Yeah. Well, the thing is, you're not going to get better if you don't go home, right? If I'm stuck in a shelter, like not a shelter, but in a space, well, how am I going to improve?
Yeah.
So I go back home. I start, I'm going to start getting involved with cutting grass. I'm going to start moving my body around, getting in shape, and learning how to do these things over again, as opposed to me being stuck somewhere and playing cards.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
that's it. So
for sure. Yeah, you can challenge yourself more and more. Yeah, to whatever your comfort level was.
For sure.
So at the time this happened, what was? Were you married? Did you have a kid?
Yeah.
Did you have kids? Did you you said you had 5 kids in a kind of
still married,
situation, but which is amazing that you do that. I think that's unbelievably honorable, but it also sounds crazy to me when anyone says 5 and kids in the same fucking sentence, because I only have one and I'm pretty spoiled by that, and she's super great. Were you married? What was how did that affect your life on the other side of that?
Well, I was married, and we had my son turned 1 on the 20th of June, and I hurt the 15th of July. So basically 2 weeks after his first birthday, I got hurt. I was with my mother of my children.
Say what you want or
yes,
ex-wife,
I guess, since I was 16 years old.
Okay.
So I've known her for a long time, over half my life. So we got married the year after we had our son, or that year we had our son, and I got hurt, and that was traumatic on her. I couldn't imagine being a wife, or even a husband, and have my wife getting hurt like this, and so it was a lot on her. So we had our son, and that was a big thing for her, to watch her little boy and then have me to watch and
take care of you.
Yeah, it was not easy. Yeah, it was a lot of stress, and I look back and think we're not married no more. We're divorced and we got remarried, and there's a lot that she went through that maybe I didn't know, or I did know, but maybe I just blanked out.
Well, you were busy.
I was
relearning everything.
Well, and I think during this recovery and this process, that takes a lot of energy for you, just to do everything you normally used to do every day. I'm going to get up, I'm going to go to the bathroom. That's probably... It's mental energy, it's energy, and I don't want to make assumptions, so correct me if I'm wrong. And then it's this other person, your partner, is going through their own path, and it's I have enough energy to get up and go to the bathroom, and maybe I can shower myself today. That's all I got. And it's I can see how when you say she was going through her own struggle with it, that's probably true.
For sure, and it's just how it is. I feel bad because I blame myself for a lot of this stuff. I shouldn't. The accident's my fault, and it will always be my fault. And people say, "No, it's not your fault," but it was my fault. I got hurt because I was working in dangerous scenarios, and that's what happens. You're an electrician, right? Yeah. But in the end, I'll be she went through a lot, and that should have been taken care of, and it wasn't taken care of, and it's what happens, right? We had 2 beautiful children together. We have a boy and a girl, and I'm happy with that. I can't, and she's a wonderful mother, so, and we have a good relationship.
You said off mics, and we can cut this out if you're uncomfortable, but you said the co-parenting thing works really well, and you're very sad, you're very happy with the situation.
Yes.
It's not a... You figured it out.
It took a while to figure out, but we figured it out. Yes.
Well, it's very complicated, and it's complex. Takes time, of course. But again, another you just overcome challenges. Hey, is that just what you've just learned to do?
Well, I guess I've always been at this, I guess, and I don't give myself any proud about it. I just way
you're very humble about it.
I'm very humble, and everyone goes through things, and it depends on how you're going to go through it, right? Yeah. And I decided to go through positivity, and life sucks. I think everyone knows life's shit.
That's fair. Yeah. Life is
shit. It's shit.
Yeah.
So
I fucking love that. I don't know if we've had anyone on this show w's really just said that.
I don't think so.
And life is shit.
It is.
It is, yeah.
But you gotta make what.
But sometimes
it's how you deal with
also,
it.
sometimes it's great.
Yeah.
Which just makes it shittier.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. Well, and no, you're right. Like
it's an echo chamber, but
it's what you do with that information. You know, like you can now sit here and dwell on it and be miserable about it, or you move past it with it, you know, and learn from that experience, and hopefully do a little bit better the next time, right?
Well, and like I think of just what happened to you, and like knowing myself, and like I don't know what I would do in that scenario. It's impossible to put myself in that scenario, but it's just like that would destroy me.
Yeah,
like I would just fucking give up.
Just unplug me.
I would just, whatever. Unplug me, fucking whatever
like
it is.
Takes
like
so
I
much
don't
willpower.
know if I'm that strong.
Yeah,
and maybe when you're in it, it's different. And
100%. Yeah,
but that just that takes an unbelievable amount of strength to do what you did. Like it that's just reality.
Yeah,
and like I'm sure the doctors were shocked, and
there's
probably a lot of surprises when A, you woke up, and B, like 3 months later you're going home like that.
It was pretty crazy.
That's amazing. That's you should be incredibly proud of yourself.
Well, I'm blessed. How's that say? I am blessed.
I know. Everybody says blessed, but you should be. I'm telling you to be fucking proud of yourself.
I'll be proud of myself.
Or I'm telling you I'm fucking proud of you. So you don't have to hold that, but I'll say it.
It's official. It's recorded.
How is that experience? Because that's a life-changing experience.
Oh yeah.
In both positive and negative ways.
Yes.
How has that impacted the way you translate that and explain that to your kids? Because like they might not remember the hardest years of it for sure.
No,
but it happened. And do you talk about that with your son?
Yeah, my son knows more than what I thought he'd know. He's only 1 year old. They always
fucking do.
Yeah, he's 1 year old, I heard. But I guess over years, you pick up very quick, right? I will not forget when I worked for workers' compensation. This is about 5-6 years after I got hurt. I went to work there, and he says, "Dad, you're always tired." I says, "Well, oh, really?" He said, "Yeah, Dad, you come home always so tired." I was like, oh. That really hit me. Like I'm driving home from my parents' house with my son and my daughter, and he told me this, and it really drove me home. And then I talked to workers' comp. They knew that. And he just knew I was tired, and I said I just can't work no more. And right there and then I'm thinking, like, my son's a pretty smart guy. Like he knows more than I thought he knew about me. Hey, Dad, you got hurt. I know you got hurt. I'm like, really? Yeah, that's interesting. So he picked up pretty quick as years went on that I have problems. My problems with fatigue, my speech. I can't talk very good sometimes. And it's just, he's a very good kid. I'm so proud of my son. I love him so much. Nice. And he's just a very, very wise young kid for his age. So yeah, it's just very interesting. But
I think they're super non-explainably intuitive and aware.
I was just gonna say observant,
impressionable, and observant when they're so young. Like, they're in a different state of mind when they're that age, and all they're doing is absorbing and being programmed.
They're like a sponge.
And so like that thing they saw or participated in might come up 6 years later, but they know it.
What's that cartoon where they have like the anger, joy, sadness, Inside Out? It's a core memory. That's exactly what it is.
That's a great way to put it. I love that movie. The first one, I haven't seen the second one, but the first one I loved.
I've seen both.
Second one worth a watch.
They're both good.
Side note: I always use the foot reference. Like the foot has been deployed. No, that's it. No, but that's how me and my wife actually noticed that, especially on even on our daughter, but like my son is just like that. Like he'll be sitting in the other room and we'll tell him like, hey, go put your shit away. Nothing. And then we just like say something like, oh, Jacob did this. He's like, what did I do? Like he actually hears it, because like there's certain things that they pick up on, and then they'll remember it.
They're
and
smart,
they really
man.
hold on to
They're
it.
So
So
smart.
kids are super, super smart. You know, they know more than we think. They
do way more.
Which is scary.
And I don't remember. I don't remember recognizing that when I was a kid. I don't remember thinking like I know more than I think, and blah, blah. Like I don't remember that.
Yeah. Oh, until I was a teenager, because I knew everything.
Well, I knew everything in the entire world. I was such a piece of shit for it.
But that's amazing that you've had that experience, because I think that helps us grow as people, recognizing our children, because like at least for myself, I want my kids to be just a little bit better than I am,
Yeah,
that should be. I think that's the goal.
And
I want them to be better, way better than me.
But like these little things that we observe about our kids, like that, to me, that's such a great feeling when I see my son or my daughter do something like special, or like say something like super smart. I'm like, holy shit, like this is amazing. Okay, they're on the right path, right?
Yeah,
like
exactly.
It's kind of like this little piece inside that I observe myself, that like, okay, like
despite you, you have amazing kids,
right? Yeah,
I think it's your
surprised.
wife, but
I mean, for sure, yeah. But they got 50% of me.
I can tell with your son. I haven't figured it out with your daughter yet, but
she's got my ears.
With your son, I for sure can tell.
But yeah, no. So that's amazing that you had that experience.
So what have you like? What's life like now?
Oh,
it's been a lot of years. You're recovering. You're recovered. Like maybe. Hold on, I have another question. I know, and I do this sometimes. It's fine. Sorry. Is recovery still a word you use in your life?
Well, I don't know if define recovery. Like, I'm in recovery. Still in recovery. Like, I get therapy.
Yeah.
Still got facial massages for my mouth, because paralysis, whole size I have paralysis there.
Maybe that's what I was trying to ask. Sorry,
speech therapy. Yeah.
Okay.
But is that ever going to be fixed? No.
Yeah.
I get, because my foot, one leg's unbalanced because I put more pressure on one side because my paralysis on the other side. So, but working and try to help it is better than just stay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because we stay, then it's going to get worse, right? Yeah. So it's always a recovery for me stage. So it's work.
Yeah.
It's work. That's basically.
Or maybe rehabilitation's a better word than recovery. I don't know, but it means the same thing.
It means the same thing.
It's just work, and it's just work that you'll do forever. To maintain and get better.
Yeah.
And it's like, like you'll never be the same.
No.
As you if that injury had not happened, like you would be a different person. But also, I think thanks to that recovery, or thanks to that injury, I think your viewpoints are completely different now. I think, at least from my point of view, I would appreciate many things probably more than not having an injury like that, right?
Yeah, that's a good point. Like you appreciate life a lot more, because life
that's
is short.
A near-death experience.
Yes, and it's you appreciate life a lot more, and you're scared to die after. Like I wasn't like it's just like you worry about it. Like shit, I died almost once, and after I got out, I was like, I'm gonna live a long time.
Yeah,
I'm not worried about dying. I'm not thinking as time goes on, like, oh shit, I'm actually worried about dying now. But because it's short, it's short life, and every day you get older, and your bones get older, grayer, and
I'm getting up every time I hear my knees crack. Yeah. Oh crap.
So going back to rehabilitation, right? I'm going to the gym because I have to keep my body moving.
That's right.
Because I don't, then I seize up. Yeah, like everyone does. Yeah. It's just I'm a little quicker.
Yeah,
the oil's not as refillable as before.
Well, and that's what I try to get that point across. Like myself, like for years, I took everything for granted. I ate shit, put on weight, didn't exercise other than play maybe soccer and hockey. But now I'm feeling it really all those years that I haven't done what I should have been doing throughout my years of growing up, and now realizing what I need to do, it's a lot fucking harder. Like just making it to the gym, which is 4 houses over here for me, is so fucking hard. Like, but you're like, no, I know I need to do this, so you'll go and do it, like, without really, probably you don't have to like look in the mirror like, you should really go. No, I don't want to, but you should really go. You know? Like,
well, I trust me. I look in the mirror and like, it's not. I gotta go.
Right. And you just you do it. And
you know, it's funny. It's not about the mirror, right? Like going back to that, it's more or less my health, right?
Yeah.
Like I just want to feel good.
Yeah.
Like I give a shit out look.
Yeah.
To be honest with you.
Yeah. Exactly.
You know, I really want to get, I want to get jacked, and that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be some ripped superhero.
Maybe if you do that extra lap.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Exactly. It's, it's just getting out like a very verbal. I like talking a lot. Yeah. So I get to the gym, I meet some good people and I chat, and then I hit the gym, work out, and then we're on the treadmill, I'll be walking and talking. I like being out communicating. So I think that's also a big therapeutic thing for me as well.
100%.
Because if I'm stuck in the house and it's too much for me.
Dude, that's the whole reason we do this. Because like we got to get out and talk to people.
Oh yeah,
that's why you're sitting here and you're sitting here and I'm sitting here.
Yeah. You have to do something that's to be sane, right? So you don't do nothing, then it's a short life.
It is short. It is.
Yeah. Is it? Was Dave before, and Dave how is Dave now different from Dave before?
How is Dave now?
That's a good question.
That's a very good question. Yeah. Let's see if I remember.
And maybe you don't remember, and that's okay too.
No, you know what? The difference is my obviously a lot of the memory and who I was and before was a lot better in a way. It's my energy levels was like quadruple what it is now. Mm-hmm. For example, I go to work for 10, 12 hours a day and I come home full of energy, take my son to sports, and or not then I would be home to for dinner and do the thing that every dad or parent does, right? Now it's after that I don't have the energy to do not much at all. I got to force myself. Do the extra laugh. Every day.
And manage it every day.
Imagine. And I'm tired all the time. Sitting here, I'm tired. I just can't, because I have seizure medications. I never talked about that before, but I've been having seizures ever since I got hurt, right?
Okay. Yeah.
So this medication is strong. I took a lot, and they had to balance it where I can, don't get seizures, right? So the medication does a lot to me. So I take twice morning and evening, right? A lot of pills. So, and when I take a pill, the pills, I get drained. So, and you mentally talking, the mental aspect of life, period. People don't realize that you use your brain for everything. Like everything. Your moving fingers, everything. Yeah. So when you're talking, like for my paralysis, I'm working so hard to talk because my mouth is paralyzed. Yeah. And it's hard.
Yeah.
So your brain, it drains your brain down.
Oh, and your brain uses more energy from your body than anything else.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah. Like it's unbelievable. Phenomenal amount.
Yeah, it's crazy. So I'll give you an example. I worked for workers' compensation after I got hurt, a few years after. And, I don't like to say this, but I always thought office work is, not hard, like,
Yeah.
I always said, you're a stupid young kid, you say shit like that, and whatever, right? But
you just sit behind a desk.
Yeah, sit behind a desk, you do whatever. And I was like, when I worked there, it's fucking hard.
Yeah.
Like, do you understand that you're actually using your brain is harder than I thought it would be?
Mental work, I think, is significantly harder than physical work.
Oh, way harder.
Yeah, and I see that on my wife because she's in a classroom before, and then now she's in an office, and like she comes home, and I can just see that, like, oh yeah, she had a tough day.
I haven't done physical work in 20 years.
Yeah. Yeah. But
I don't do physical work. That's not my strength.
But you do have physical work in your work right now because you do get out, meet clients, meet your.
That's not physical work.
No, but like
lifting a beer to my lips isn't physical work.
No, but
it's mental work. It's exhausting.
But when you have to like get up, go, to different places, you're not closed.
Sure,
in an
I think
office.
you're being kind.
No, like because
I'm not an electrician pulling fucking cable.
No. But you don't have an office job where
Fine.
you're in there.
Don't call what I do physical work. My office may be different locations, but it's the same shit.
No,
I'm sitting down in this venue drinking something different.
I still think your job has like more mental work for sure. Yeah.
All right. Mental. Yeah. Oh yeah. It is a mentally heavy. So to reel it in, I totally understand that mental energy is exhausting in a very different way, and it is way more taxing, and in my mind, for me personally, slower to recover from.
I can see that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And like for yourself, like you said, you use that energy from your brain to speak, to move, right?
Yeah.
And then now you're stuck at a desk where you also have to use your brain to focus on what you need to be doing.
Yeah, and then
and so like you're basically your brain's doing double duties there.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, because this thing like a traumatic brain injury. So, like, people realize that I look fine. You look at me, I look like I'm normal, right? Yeah. But it's not an easy life. Mm-hmm. Like, anything is not easy. Life is not easy, period.
Yeah.
But when it comes to mentally, people know mentally anything can strike you, right? It doesn't matter if it's an injury or not. It could be something else health-wise.
Yeah.
And mental is very terrible for you. So that's the thing is, it was hard for me, like for work, but I tell you right now, I want to go to work now.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's hard to be at home.
Well, you've got a fire inside you to do stuff, to be. Like,
I miss it every day.
Your drive to play hockey, your drive to become an electrician, to do like, you have a drive. Your drive to recover, like that. There's a juxtaposition between like how you feel and what you're capable of doing, and like what do you do to manage that?
Well, that's
without it being negative.
Yeah, well, at first what I did was I got involved with scouting hockey, right?
Yeah.
So I didn't mention it earlier, but hockey and coaching. So I got involved with coaching, and it's something that's actually I enjoy doing. That is it's less taxing on your body and your mind mostly. So I did that, and then that's, you find enjoyment on something a little more lightening up to yourself, more positivity, and that helped a bit. Now it's me slowing down with, I had to separate myself with that because I got a family, a lot of kids, and so things slowed down lots.
Yeah.
But going back to working, like that's what I like to do. What I like to do was hockey and my work.
Yeah.
But now it's family, so I get to find out what's my purpose now. It's
a new journey.
It's a new journey. Yeah. That's funny. It's a journey in life, and there's journeys. Everyone has a journey.
Yeah.
And then my journey in life now is just to figure out what to do as being a father, and later on figure if there's something else I gotta do.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thanks so much for being here and sharing that with us, man. Like that's, I do this every fucking show, but I'm always just so goddamn grateful people are willing to come sit here and talk to us about this stuff. I would love to have you back in a year and like hear what your journey is like.
Oh,
and
awesome.
you're in a transition period, and like
you're not even 40, so there's lots, you have lots of time to.
We're both turned 40 this year.
A year from now, you're coming to do the show, and you're both going to tell me how fucking awesome it is being 40, because it is. I'm telling you, it is.
Perfect.
So I really appreciate you being here, man. Like,
thank you very much.
It's so nice to see you again.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
It's been a really long time, and like my family was super excited that you were coming to do this. My dad listens to the show, and like
that's awesome.
He's known you since before either of us remember. And
for sure.
And so I'm just so grateful that like. I'm grateful that you're still able to sit here and do this. I think that's again, I've said it enough, but like it's a fucking miracle, and you're not wasting that miracle. And so like I think that's fucking really honorable, and that's great. And like I know you're a humble guy and you're not going to like all the compliments, but like,
No, I appreciate it.
as a man to man, and like knowing you have 5 kids and I have 1, and what you do every day, like that's
one's great too.
My one is amazing. Yeah. But like you're a good man, and that you should be very proud of that.
Thank you very much.
I have this lovely cup or mug for you with some stickers in there as a thank you for coming here and sharing your story with us and with our audience. And yeah, I agree with Tim that you're a champion, man. Like just way to go, way to go through this journey. And it must have been very hard for your family too. But like you're here, and just happy to have you here. And I'm not sure. I'm sure Jono mentioned you, but March 14th we have our wind up. So I hope to see you there. Maybe
he didn't mention that, so I'm hopefully making it there.
Yeah. I know you're a busy guy.
Yeah,
but,
I might see you there.
But he'll be there too.
Yeah, I'll probably go.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and I'm just gonna take this opportunity to shout out the Belgian Club Crusaders. I know some of the guys listen to this, so they'll love it when I bring up the Spongy team. So here's a big shout out to them. We didn't win the championship, but we had a great time, and we can't wait for the wind up. So everyone else, thank you very much for tuning in, and Dave, again, thanks for being here.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Thanks, man.
Thanks for tuning in to this episode of The Quiet Riot Show. We want to give a big shout out to our sponsors for making this show possible. And of course, thank you, our amazing listeners, for your support. Be sure to follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. We're at Quiet Riot Show on all platforms. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, where you can watch full episodes of the podcast. If you're enjoying the show, please rate and review us wherever you're listening. It really helps us grow and reach more listeners like you. We'd also love to hear from you. Have questions, suggestions, or thoughts about the show? Drop us an email at quietriot@gmail.com. Thanks again for listening, and we'll see you next time on The Quiet Riot Show.